Nithyanandeshwara Sadashiva Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Adishakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, participants, visitors, viewers, sitting with us all over the world for this program, Experience Kailasa. First of all, I want to tell you, I recommend
With your eyes open is Darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to Darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Nithyanandam. Today is the first day of the main festival of Chitrai Brahmotsavam, also known as Meenakshi Brahmotsavam. Meenakshi Brahmotsavam is the celebration of the life and glory of Devi Meenakshi Paramashiva Shakti, cosmic mother herself, and the queen of Madurai Samrajyam, who along with Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva established the Kailasonnada Shamala Pitha Sarvagna Pitham. We will begin with the Mandakapadi offering ceremony for the grand cosmic celebration of Chitrai Peruvila Brahmotsavam here at Kailasa's Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam at Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagna Pitham. With great pride and privilege, we are grateful that our beloved Bhagavan, the very manifestation of the Meenakshi Paramashiva Shakti, and Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, is officiating this Brahmotsavam. All rituals and homas performed during Brahmotsavams and special Utsavams here in Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam at Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagna Pitham are micromanaged by the Supreme Pontiff himself and performed by his third eye awakened disciples strictly as per Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Mandakapadi is a gracious gesture and offering towards our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff, inviting his divine presence for the upcoming celebrations to express to him our devotion and love and to seek his blessings. With our Sakshat Dandavat Pranams, let us now welcome our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, for today's sacred Mandakapadi offering ceremony and seek his divine grace and blessings.
प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नागं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यत्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्त विज्ञान विनिश्चितार्था संन्यासयोगात्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु पराः प्रलयान्तकाले परामृतान् परिमुच्यन्ते सर्वे दह्रं विपापं वरवेश्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यस्थस्थम् तत्रापि दह्रे गगनं विशोकं तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तुपासितव्यम् वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः महेश्वरः सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तो सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
O enlightened beings, descendants of noble clans, all Hindu diaspora, with the divine grace of Sri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta, Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, and with the auspicious blessings of his Paramavatara, the ultimate incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhana, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, Kailasa's Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam welcomes you to the grand celebration of Chitrai Brahmotsavam. During the auspicious Nitya Yuga, Plavanama Samvatsara of the Tamil Hindu calendar, Uttarayana, Lakshmi Venkateshwara Ritu, Meena Masa, Shukla Paksha, Chaturthi Shubhatithi, Mangalavara, Kritika Nakshatra, Ayushmana Yoga, Vishti Karana, corresponding to the 5th day of the month of April of the year 2022 of the common era of the Gregorian calendar. The Chitrai Brahmotsavam will commence at Kailasa's Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam at Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagnipeetam with the Dhwaja Rohanam, the flag hoisting ceremony, culminating on the 16th of April 2022. We will now be presenting the Vrishabha Dhwaja, the flag to be hoisted during the Dhwaja Rohanam ceremony immediately after this ritual, marking the beginning of Chitrai Brahmotsavam. Today, with this traditional Mandakapadi offering, Kailasa's Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam invites the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, to officiate and bless this Chitrai Peruvila Brahmotsavam and welcome all the living beings from the 14 lokas, the vertical time zones, to this grand celebration.
Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Nithyanandeshvara Paramashiva Samarambham Nithyanandeshvari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Nithyananda Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Lalate Tripundre Nitilakrita Kasturi Tilakaha Spuranmaladhara Spurita Katikaupina Vasanaha Dadhano Dustaram Shirasi Bhanirajam Shashikalam Pradeepas Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate Shri Kailasonnata Dvadashanta Shyamala Pitharudha Shri Meenakshi Sundareshwara Bhinna Swarupa Parashiva Putra Ratna Kumara Guru Manya Tulyavatara Shri Parvati Stanyapana Labdha Divya Jnana Vishruta Kalyalankrita Jnana Vijnana Chakravarti Sarvajana Sangha Satyo Nirvana Diksha Vyayapavarga Varsha Vishrana Jimuta Paramata Bhakesari Shaiva Siddhanta Sthapanacharya Shri Rajadhiraja Pandya Maharaja Guru Kshapana Shakyadi Mahandhakara Nivarana Jnana Bhano Vikshanadarhara Dhvajochedana Purvaka Shri Madrishadhvastapa Shaiva Samaya Kartre Sarvajna Pitharudha Shri Jagadguru Shri Jnana Sambandha Deshika Swami Vagisha Sundara Manikya Vachaka Swaminam Avatara Bhuta Shri Jnana Sambandha Swami Punarudhuta Shyamala Pitha Sarvajna Pitha Trinavadyuttara Dvishatatama Guru Mahasannidhana Arunagiri Yogeshwara Paramparagata Arunachala Sarvajna Pitha Guru Mahasannidhana Kailasa Paramparagata Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajna Pitha Trayastimshadottara Dvishatatama Guru Mahasannidhana Nityotsava Nitya Mangala Nitya Kalyana Nitya Rajita Kailasa Paramparagata Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Pitha Mahasamsthana Mahasimhasana Pitha Kartre Sakshat Shri Paramashiva Samudbhuta Kailasa Paramparagata वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठस्य त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमद्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्री श्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय धूर्वतितन्धोर्वयं वयं धूर्वामस्त्वं देवानामसि सस्रितमं पप्रितमं चुष्टमं वह्नितमं देवहूतममहृतमसि हविर्धानं दृगुंहस्वमाह्वाः मित्रस्य त्वा चक्षुषा प्रेक्षे माभेर्मा संविक्था मा त्वाहिवंसिषम् श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि उत्तेभ्य स्वजात वेदो भग्नन्निर्तिं मम पशोगुश्च मह्यमावह जीवनं च दिशो दिशा मानो हि गुंसि जातवेदो कामश्वं पुरुषं जगत् अबिभ्रदग्न आगहि श्रिया मा परिपातया ॐ ह्रीं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः दीपं सन्दर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् मधुवातारतायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः मार्धेन सन्तोषधीः मधुनक्तमुतोषसि मधुमध्वार्धिवगुं रजः मधुद्यौरस्तु नः पिता मधुमान्नो वनस्पतिर्मधुमागुम् अस्तु सूर्यः माद्भिर्गावो भवन्तु नः मधु 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 ॐ ह्रीं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यान्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः कर्पूर नीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि क्षान्धारयामि वेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेवा ஆடுக மதுரை அரசே போற்றி கூடலிருங்க குருமணி போற்றி காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி. This divine land of Adi Kailasa that is inhabited by great sages, we are now witnessing the moment that the flag, the Rishabha Dhwaja, is being tied onto the Dhwaja Stamba. The ritual of Dhwajarohanam represents the Jivatma, which is in the lower plane, moving to a higher plane. Just as the flag moves upwards, the Jivatma moves towards Paramashiva. With the divine grace of Annai Meenakshi and Sokkanada, we have prepared the flag for this Peruvira. The flag of the Chitrai Peruvira is designed as per the instructions described in the Uttara Kamikagama. The flag will have the Astradevar drawn on it. It will have the drawing of the Vahana of the main deity of the temple. Hence the Vahana of Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam of Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Sokkanada is the Rishabha, the bull. He is described to be the representation of Dharma and the four legs of Rishabha representing the four Vedas. It also represents the four Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. The pole is considered to be the moolam of the temple. In the temple, the flagpole, the Balipitha and the Shivalinga are always placed in a straight line. The Pashu, which is the bound soul, is represented as the Balipitha and the Rishabha. The Pati, the Lord Paramashiva, who is beyond the Mala and Maya, is present in the form of the Shivalinga, and the Dhwajastamba represents the Pasha, that which connects the Pashu and Pati. In the divine land of Adi Kailasa, now we are having the darshan of the divine banyan tree. The Kalpavriksha situated at the heart of the Arulmiga Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam. Just having the darshan of this banyan tree will fulfill all our desires and grant us liberation. In this divine land of Arulmiga Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, we are celebrating this grand Chitrai Peruvira with Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayagi, Annai Meenakshi and Halahala Sundarar, Soma Sundarar, Kalyana Sundarar, Karpura Sundarar. Nithyanandeshwara blesses all the world by manifesting his powerful presence here in the form of the Swayambhu Nithyanandeshwara Linga. For today's grand festival, we can see that for the preliminary rituals, kalashas had been set forth and rituals were offered. Just by being born in Tiruvarur, you will be liberated. By having the darshan of Natarajar in Chidambaram, we will be liberated. By leaving the body in Kashi, we will be liberated. By remembering Arunachala and Namalayar, we will become liberated. But just by remembering a person who remembers this Kshetra of Adi Kailasha, we will be liberated from all our incompletions and will attain the space of Paramashivatva. Annai Meenakshi, Halahala Sundari, Soma Sundari, Karpura Sundari is present in this Sadashiva Mandapam in her very beautiful Alankaram, holding a beautiful parrot. Devi Tatataka, she who has created this whole Brahmanda, is gracing this event. Alongside, we have Soma Sundareshwarar, Sokkanadar, with Priyavidai, Parashakti, who is never separated from him, as she is Manonmani. Priyavidai in Tamil means she who is never separated from him. We are celebrating this grand festival in accordance with Shaivagamas. Shaivagamas are the signs that lead us to having an enlightenment ecosystem around us. The Shastras say, Agatam Shivabhaktrebhyo gatam cha girijamukhe matam hi vasudevasya tasmat agama uchyate. That which is revealed by Paramashiva, heard by Paramashiva Shakti and accepted by Vishnu as a constitution to run the cosmos is called as Agamas. This very land of Adi Kailasa is where the transition of Agamas had happened. The Tantravatara Patalam of Kamikagama describes this land as a very place and space where the transmission of Shaivagamas had happened. Kailasa Dakshine Shringe Nanashcharya Samanvite Pravruddha Vatavrikshota Chaya Channete Vistrite Vyagracharma Paridhane Pithe Ratnopashobhite Devadanav Gandharva Siddha Vidyadharadibihi. These verses are revealed in the Kamikagama, which describe this very place where these agamas were revealed. We are having the darshan of the Dhvajastambam now. The Dhvajastamba represents Paramashiva himself. It is the form of Paramashiva. It represents the Pasha which binds the Pati and Pashu together. It takes us, the Pashu, which is the bind soul, the Atma, the Jivatma, to Paramatma, to the space of Paramashiva. How does Pashu reach Pati? Is by loosening the ropes of Pasha. The whole ritual of the Dhvajarohanam is representing this act of liberation of the Pashu reaching the Pati. This very land of Adikailasa was where Lord Parandhama's incarnation, Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, has set his foot. The Swayambhu Nityandeshwara present in the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam had been touched and worshipped by Sri Rama himself. Just as anyone born in Tiruvarur is sure to get liberated, anyone who even remembers a person who remembers the Adi Kailasa gets liberated. now will be hoisting the Rishabhadhwaja in this auspicious Muhurta. Will now be raising the flag, experiencing oneness with Paramashiva, the Pashu reaching the Pati. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Now we'll be offering the puja to the Rishabhadhwajam. We'll be invoking the presence of Rishabhadevar, the Rishabheshwarar, into the flag. Om Om Ham Anantaya Namaha. Om Ham Dharmaya Namaha. Om Ham Jnanaya Namaha. Om Ham Vairagyaya Namaha. Om Ham Aishwaryaya Namaha. Om Ham Padmaya Namaha. Om Ham Vrushasanaya Namaha. Om Ham Vrishabhamurtaye Namaha. Rajata Nibhashariram Vedapadam Mukhordhvam Tarunamudita Shringam Chagnivarnam Trinetram Chalamaniganabhusham Kinkini Damabhushyam Harihara Vidhirupam Adidevam Vrishesham. Om Braum Netrebhyo Namaha. Om Ham Vram Vrishabhaya Namaha. Dhyayami Avahayami Avahinya Mudraya Sadyo Jatena Vidyadeha Hridambuje Hrida Avahya Stapinya Mudraya Vamadeva Padmasane Samstapya Sannidhanya Mudraya Aghorena Nijantikastham Hrita Sannidhapya Nishturya Mudraya Tatpurushena Akarmakanda Paryantam Sannirodhya Nirodhargyam Dattva Kalakantya Mudraya Ishanena Tarjanibhyam Bhadantya Vighnanotsarya Mushtina Avakuntya Swagatam Te Rishabheshwara Iti Vijñapya Vatsa Suswagatam Iti Devedoktam Vibhavya Swamin Sarva Jagannatha Yavat Pujavasanakam Tavatvam Prithvi Bhavena Kumbhesmin Sannidhirbhava. Om Vrum Vrishabhaya Namaha. Dhupamagrapayami. Om Vrum Vrishabhaya Namaha. Deepam Sandarshayami. Om Vrum Vrishabhaya Namaha. Naivedyam Nivedayami. Naivedyanantaramachamanyam samarpayami. Om Vrum Vrishabhaya Namaha. Karpura Nirajanam Sandarshayami. Om Hrim Sarvadeva Devi Sarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Namaha. Karpura Nirajanam Sandarshayami. Rakshantharayami. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। श्रीमत्सुरासुरमुनिवर सिद्ध विद्याधर यक्ष राक्षस गरुड गंधर्व किन्नर किं पुरुष भूत प्रेत पिशाच सिद्ध योगिनी डाकिनी शाकिनी ब्रह्म राक्षस भीतराग विषमलोचन नर मृग पशु पक्षी स्थावर जंगम भूलोक भुवर्लोक सुवर्लोक महोलोक जनोलोक तपोलोक सत्यलोकाभिधान सप्तलोकाश्च ब्रह्मगारुडाण्ड वैष्णवाण्ड रुद्राण्ड अन्तरण्ड बहिरण्ड अतल वितल सुतल रसातल तलातल महातल पाताल सप्त पाताल अनंत वासुकी तक्षक कार्कोटक शंखपाल गुणिक पद्म महापद्माद्यष्ट महानाग महामेरु पर्वत देव पर्वत उदय पर्वत निषध पर्वत मलय पर्वत विंध्य पर्वत कैलासादि महापर्वताश्च लवण इक्षुसुरा सर्पित क्षीर शुद्ध जलाभिधान सप्त समुद्राः गंगा यमुना नर्मदा देवकी कौशिकी कावेरी शोणा नदी सिन्धुरेव व्यास वशिष्ठ गौतम काश्यप भारद्वाज भृगु मार्कण्डेय याज्ञवल्क्य नारद नवग्रह दश दिक्समूह एकादश रुद्राः द्वादशादित्याष्टवसु त्रयस्त्रिंशत्कोटिदेवतागणाश्च चतुर्दश भुवनेश्वर पंच ब्रह्म पंचदश पक्ष षोडश स्वर मंत्र महामंत्र हुंकार हुं फट्कार स्वाहाकार स्वधाकार नमो वौषट्कार सुख दुःख राजस तामस सात्विक व्यक्ता व्यक्त महदहंकार भूतेन्द्रिय वाक्पाद पाणि पायोपस्थ वचन गमनादान विसर्गानंद शब्द स्पर्श रूप रस गंध श्रोत्र त्वक्षुर्चुर्वाघ्राण प्राणापान व्यानोदान समान नागकूर्म कुक्कुर देवदत्त धनंजय इडा पिंगला सुषुम्ना गांधारी हस्ति जिह्वा अलंपुषा कुहु शंखिनी मूलाधार स्वाधिष्ठान मणिपूरक अनाहत विशुद्धि आज्ञा बालातप ब्रह्मरंध्र हालाहल विसर्ग विश्व पदार्थ दृश्यादृश्य गद्य पद्य बौद्धेय वैशेषिक नैयायिक मीमांसक चावक चाणक्य भरराज हंस वाक्यायमान सप्तरूपाष्ट विस्मृति बहुपुराण धर्मशास्त्र तर्कशास्त्र शैवागम विहित श्रीकंठ पार्वती भक्त जन मुनि वृषभंजन नित्यानंद नित्य कल्याण गंगाधर गणनायक त्रैलोक्येश्वर श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोम सुंदरेश्वर स्वामी समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति मीनाक्षी देव्याः ध्वजारोहण कल्याण समये समस्त देवता समागच्छन्ताम्।
ओम नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ओम नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः। यात
एष शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः
शिवा शरव्यायातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनोरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवासन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः
यामि शृङ्गिरिशन्तहस्ते
ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि पुंसीः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगं सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक् अहीगश्च
All the rituals in Adi Kailasa are conducted by third eye awakened Kailashavasis, beings who have attained the Samipya Mukti with Paramashiva, who live around Paramashiva. Any rituals being conducted by third eye awakened, initiated disciples will surely reap the benefit and manifest all our desires and manifest the presence of all the deities. Just now we had chanted the Brahmanda Mantra, the mantra which describes, which invokes all the different deities, all 33 crore gods and beings from all the lokas. We invoke all the munis, siddhas, ganas, rishis, gandharvas, yakshas, kinnaras, kimpurushas, bhutas, pretas, pishachas, and all the different beings to come with us and celebrate this grand Brahmotsavam in the presence of the supreme point of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. With his grace and blessings, we are commencing this grand Chitrai Peruvira with all its grandeur. We are celebrating this Brahmotsavam along with all the different beings from all the parallel universes of the cosmos. We can hear the Veda mantras being chanted by the initiated disciples of the supreme point of Hinduism. The power of the Veda mantras is such that it immediately invokes the presence of divine. The mantras from Sri Rudram Namakam are being chanted, which is from the Krishna Yajurveda. The power of Sri Rudram, the Veda mantras from Sri Rudram is described in Kamikagama itself. The power is such that when Sri Rudram is chanted, it heals all the diseases of the person. With the divine grace of Hala Hala Sundarar, Sakkanadar, Soma Sundareshwarar, Kalyana Sundarar, and Annai Meenakshi, Devi Parashakti, we are commencing this grand Brahmotsavam with this ritual of Dhwajarohanam. The very start of the Brahmotsavam, we experience oneness with Paramashiva and we celebrate the whole Brahmotsavam from the space of oneness with Paramashiva. We are seeing the auspicious Darbha being tied on the Dhwajastambha now. The Darbha, the Kusha, is considered to be very pure, and the tying of darba is done for the protection of all the beings of the cosmos. We worship different devatas within the Dhwajastambha, present in different parts of the Dhwajastambha, and place these darbas to purify the space around them. The darba is considered to be that pure that the tip of the kusha grass is considered that all the tirthas, the Sapta Nadis, Sapta Sindhus are present in the tip of the darba. We are seeing the Shava garlands being offered to the deities within the Dhwajastambha.
स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो श्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः व्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रगुंहतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रिभ्यः संगहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः दक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो.
Now we are seeing new clothes being offered to the Dhwajastambha, to the embodiment of Paramashiva and Paramashiva Shakti.
शीघ्रियाय च शीघ्राय च नमः ऊर्म्याय चावस्मन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीभ्याय च ओ ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो पगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्धियाय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय चावसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय चाशुरथाय च नमः शूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरूधिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय चाहनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निशङ्किने चेषु धीमते च नमस्ते स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काठ्याय च नीभ्याय च नमः सूर्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाट्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः गोभ्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईध्र्याय च तप्याय च नमो पाठ्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च
नमः
सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः
भवे च मयो भवे च नमः
शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमः.
We are seeing that the Acharya is now smearing the sandalwood paste, making different offerings to the Dhvajastambha, worshipping Paramashiva through the Dhvajastambha, and the Veda mantras being chanted by the initiated disciples. As we are witnessing this grand ritual of the Dhvajarohanam, all of us, whatever desire we might hold in our heart, we can offer it to the feet of Annai Meenakshi, Devi Paramashiva Shakti. Through this ritual and the happening of Dhvajarohanam, we will attain the space of Paramashivatva, we will manifest all our desires, and Paramashiva, Sokkanada and Annai Devi Meenakshi will shower us with much more than what we desire. They will grant us with the ultimate desire of experiencing the enlightenment itself.
केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रनीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां माभेर्वारोपो येषां किञ्चना ममते या ते रुद्रशिवा तनोशिवा विश्वाः भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी त्वया नो मृडजीवसे शिवागुं रुद्राय तपसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा नः शमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम्.
Now we are witnessing the Dhvajastambha, the Paramashiva, receiving the Abhishekam from the Rishabhayagam which was conducted today morning. The Kamikagama Uttarapada Mahotsava Vidhipatala describes in detail of how to celebrate a Mahotsava. The Agama describes that one must invoke the Rishabheshwara, the Vahana of Paramashiva, Sokkanada, into the Kalasha and worship the Rishabha. Rishabha, who represents the Dharma, the Shaiva Dharma, is to be worshipped within the Kalasha, and his Ashtavidyeshwaras are to be worshipped in the 8 Kalashas around him. We are now seeing that Kalasha Tirtham being offered to the Dhvajastambha as Abhishekam.
भीममुपघट्नुमुग्रम् मृटा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निव पन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परिद्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरा मघवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमेध्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया मेधुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भवा परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्यं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विकिरिदविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रकं हेतयोन्यमस्मन्निव पन्तुताः सहस्राणि सहस्रधा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृधि सहस्राणि सहस्रशो रुद्रा अधिभूम्याः.
The Meenakshi Brahmotsavam is framed when the advent of divine feminine consciousness happened as Devi Meenakshi. Thousands of years ago, Devi Kanchanamala and the Pandya king Malayadhuja had prayed fervently for an heir to the mighty Pandya kingdom. The Rajaguru Agastya Muni had suggested the king to perform a Putrakameshti Yagam, a ritual which would bestow the king with an heir to the kingdom and the throne. Devi Kanchanamala, in her previous birth as Vidyavati, was a very ardent devotee of Devi Parvati. Pleased with her penance, Devi Parashakti appeared in front of her as a small girl. Vidyavati had asked as a boon for Devi Paramashiva Shakti to be born as her daughter, in that very form in which she had appeared in front of him. The Pandya king Malayadhwaja, along with his wife Devi Kanchanamala, performed the Putrakameshti Yaga. When the Purnahuti was offered, all the Devas came and accepted the offerings. A 3-year-old girl whose dark complexion with a slight green hue as an aura of the full moon appeared out of the fire. It was none other than Devi Paramashiva Shakti, Annai Meenakshi herself. We are now having the darshan of the Dhvajastambha. Just how important a spinal cord is for a human being, that important the Dhvajastambha is for the temple. The Dhvajastambha forms the important part of the temple that represents the Pasha component of the 3 important components in the Shaiva Siddhanta, the Pashu, Pati and Pasha. Always the Bali is offered in front of the Dhvajastambha. Now we are witnessing the Bali being offered for the Dhvajastambha, for the Ashtavidyeshwaras, the Sayujya Muktas, the beings who have attained oneness with Paramashiva.
ताने यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वान् वयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेनाप्याय सदाशिवो
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ अग्ना
विष्णु सचोषसे मा वर्धन्तु वाङ्गिरः द्युम्नैर्वाजेभिरागतं वाचश्च मे प्रसवश्च मे प्रयतिश्च मे प्रसितिश्च मे भीतिश्च मे क्रतुश्च मे स्वरश्च मे श्लोकश्च मे श्रावश्च मे श्रुतिश्च मे ज्योतिश्च मे सुभश्च मे प्राणश्च मे पानश्च मे व्यानश्च मे सुश्च मे चित्तं च आधीतं च मे वाक् च मे मनश्च मे चक्षुश्च मे श्रोत्रं च मे दक्षश्च मे बलं च ओजश्च मे सहश्च आयुश्च मे जरा च आत्मा च मे तनोश्च मे शर्म च मे वर्म च मे अङ्गानि च मे स्थानि च मे परोगंशि च मे शरीराणि च मे
ज्येष्ठ्यं च
आधिपत्यं च मे मन्युश्च मे भावश्च मे मश्च मे भश्च मे देवा च मे महिमा च मे वरिमा च मे प्रतिमा च मे वर्ष्मा च मे द्राभूया च मे वृद्धं च मे वृद्धिश्च मे सत्यं च मे श्रद्धा च मे जगच्च मे धनं च मे वशश्च मे द्विषश्च मे क्रीडा च मे मोदश्च मे जातं च मे जनिष्यमानं च मे सूक्तं च मे सुकृतं च मे वित्तं च मे वेद्यं च मे भूतं च मे भविष्यच्च मे शुभं च मे सुपथं च मरुद्धं च मरुद्धिश्च मे क्लुप्तं च मे क्लुप्तिश्च मे मतिश्च मे सुमतिश्च मे च मे मयश्च मे प्रियं च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सोश्च मे प्रसोश्च मे क्षीरं च मे लयश्च मरुतं च मे मृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे नमित्रं च मे भयं च मे सुखं च मे शयनं च मे सोषा च मे सुधिनं च मे पयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतं च मे मधु च मे सग्धिश्च मे सपीतिश्च मे कृषिश्च मे वृष्टिश्च मे जैत्रं च औद्भिद्यं च मे रयिश्च मे रायश्च मे पुष्टं च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णं च मे पूर्णतरं च मे क्षितिश्च मे पूयवाश्च मे नं च मे क्षुच्च मे प्रीहयश्च मे यवाश्च मे माशाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मे नवश्च मे श्यामागाश्च मे नीवाराश्च मे अश्मा च मे मृत्तिका च मे गिरयश्च मे पर्वताश्च मे सिकताश्च मे वनस्पतयश्च मे हिरण्यं च मे यश्च मे सीतं च मे त्रपुश्च मे श्यामं च मे लोहं च मे अग्निश्च आपश्च मे विरुधश्च औषधयश्च मे कृष्णपच्यं च मे कृष्णपच्यं च मे ग्राम्याश्च मे पशवहारण्याश्च यज्ञेन कल्पन्तां वित्तं च मे वित्तिश्च मे भूतं च मे भूतिश्च मे वसु च मे वसतिश्च मे कर्म च मे शक्तिश्च मे अर्थश्च म एमश्च म इतिश्च मे गतिश्च मे
Rashmishchama
इन्द्रश्च मे सोमश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे सविता च म इन्द्रश्च मे सरस्वती च म इन्द्रश्च मे पूषा च म इन्द्रश्च मे बृहस्पतिश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे मित्रश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे वरुणश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे त्वष्टा च म इन्द्रश्च मे धाता च म इन्द्रश्च मे विष्णुश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे श्विनौ च म इन्द्रश्च मे मरुतश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे विश्वे च मे देवा इन्द्रश्च मे पृथिवी च म इन्द्रश्च मे अन्तरिक्षं च म इन्द्रश्च मे द्यौश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे दिशश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे मूर्धा च म इन्द्रश्च मे प्रजापतिश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे
Shishchame Rashmishchame
ताभ्यश्च मेधिपतिश्च म उपागं शुश्च मेऽन्तर्यामश्च म ऐन्द्रवायवश्च मे च मे रश्मिश्च मे ताभ्यश्च मेधिपतिश्च म उपागं शुश्च मेऽन्तर्यामश्च म ऐन्द्रवायवश्च मे नीत्रावरुणश्च म आश्विनश्च मे प्रतिप्रस्थानश्च मे शुक्रश्च मे मन्थी च म आग्रयणश्च मे वैश्वदेवश्च मे
Shuvashchame
Vaishvanarashchame Om
Sangrahanyeshtyaya jate iman janatagum sangrihnaniti Dvadasharatni rashana bhavate Dvadashamasa samvatsaraha संवत्सरमेवा वरुन्धे मौञ्ची भवति ऊर्ध्वै मुञ्जा आहा ऊर्जमेवा वरुन्धे चित्रा नक्षत्रं भवति चित्रं वा एतत् कर्म
Now we are witnessing the Alankara Deepam, the Mahadipam being offered. We are seeing that the Acharya is now worshipping, taking the Trinetra Deepam, that which represents all the three eyes of Paramashiva. The Trinetra Deepam.
त्रीणि वै देवानामृद्धानि त्रीणि छन्दागुंसे त्रीणि सवनानि त्रय इमे लोकाः
वृद्धादेव तद्वीर्य
येषु लोकेषु प्रतिष्ठते
Represents the three eyes of Paramashiva. It represents the three gunas, represents the three Vedas. The offering of Trinetra Deepam, the offering of this Deeparadhana itself invokes auspiciousness and manifests all our desires.
ईशानः
We are seeing
सर्वविद्
the Panchamukha Deepam being offered now. Each Deepa will represent each face of Paramashiva, namely Satyojata, Vamadeva, Aghora, Tatpurusha and Ishana. These five faces of Paramashiva are worshipped and invoked in the flame of the lamps and shown as the Arti.
ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। अघोरेभ्यो घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः। वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः। सद्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि सद्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः। भवे भवेनाति भवे भवस्वमां भवोद्भवाय नमः।
Today, we receive Devi Meenakshi and begin the celebration of her glories, her leelas and her manifestation here in the Nithyananda Paramashiva Devalayam. All temple festivals are Utsavams, and the most important one is called as the Brahmotsavam. The Sanskrit word Utsava denotes an act of creation or recreation. If we study the features of the Brahmotsavam, we will find that more than any one temple festival, the Brahmotsavam would essentially be a festival of recreation. Celebrating Meenakshi's advent, glory and blessings is that recreation of the events and celebrations of Meenakshi's avatar, when she manifested with utmost grace and compassion to save the world from misery and delusion. The whole Brahmotsavam itself is celebrating the life of Devi Meenakshi. It is celebrating her leelas. We will be celebrating in this Brahmotsavam the Meenakshi Pattabhishekam on the 8th day. Pattabhishekam is a grand ritual where Devi Meenakshi is coronated as the queen of the Pandya kingdom, the queen of Madhurapuri. She becomes the Madhurapuri Nayaki through the ritual of the Pattabhishekam. After the Pattabhishekam on the 8th day, she decides to rule over, she decides to take over the whole cosmos. She goes in all 8 directions and does the Digvijayam. She defeats all the Digpalakas, starting with Indra in the east, Agni in the southeast, Yama in the south. She goes and defeats all of them with a huge, massive and powerful army. When she reaches the Aishanya Moolam, the northeast, when she reaches Kailasa, she defeats all the Shivaganas and Nandi himself. But the moment her gaze falls on Paramashiva, she realizes, she experiences her true identity as Devi Paramashiva Shakti. She realizes that she is the Ardhangini of Paramashiva. Devi Meenakshi is also called as Tadattagai in Tamil, meaning she who has 3 breasts. When she was born out of the Putrakameshti Yaga, she was born with 3 breasts. The Ashariri, Paramashiva in the form of Ashariri, reassures the parent Malayadhwaja Pandya and Devi Kanchanamala that the 3rd breast will disappear when she will meet the person who she will marry and become one with. Then, once she meets Paramashiva, she experiences that her true identity is none other than Devi Paramashiva Shakti herself. Then, Paramashiva Somasundareshwara comes down from Kailasa to Madurai for this grand wedding celebration, the Tirukalyanam, which happens on the 10th day. Throughout this Brahmotsavam, we celebrate the life and happening of Devi Meenakshi.
Devaha Vayustakam agre pramuvoktu devah prajapatih prajaya samvidanaha pramunchamana bhuvanasya reto gatun bhattayajamanaaya devaha Upakritagum jasamanam yadastha jivam devanamapyetu pathaha Om Doramasmachhatravoyantu bhitaha Tadindragni krunutam tadvishakhe Tanno deva anumadantu yajñam Paschat purastadabhayando astu Ketavepesho marya apeshase samushadbhirajayathaha Brahma devanam padavih kavinam prishirvipranam mahisho mriganam.
We are witnessing the Deeparadhana taking place. The Deeparadhana is as per the Kamikagamas Uttarapada. The 7th chapter of the Kamikagama describes in detail of how to do the Deeparadhana for Paramashiva. Now we are seeing the flag being shown. Ketu is worshipped. Bhagavan Ketu is worshipped within the flag and shown. The Veda mantras pertaining to Bhagavan Ketu are being chanted along with showing of the flag. Now we are seeing the Chamaram being offered. In Chamaram, Devi Mahalakshmi is worshipped. As it represents the royalness, it is considered as a Rajopachara, which we offer to Paramashiva. Rajopachara is nothing but different various items which are offered to a king, which shows his grandeur. We are now offering the Chamaram to Paramashiva.
Kuberaya Vaishravanaya Maharajaya Namaha. कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात्।
We are seeing the Karpura Arati being offered to Somasundareshwara Sukkanada and Anne Meenakshi Devi Parashakti, along with the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva. The significance of offering the Karpura Arati is that just like how the camphor burns and disappears into thin air, we should just disappear. Our identity and ego should just disappear into the supreme identity of Paramashiva, experiencing the state and space of Paramashivoham.
Ugraviram Indrastomena Panchadashena Madhyamidam Vatena Sakarena Raksha Rakshandharayami.
Witnessing the happenings from the temple in the Arunmiga Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwari Devalayam in the Adikailasa Sarvagya Peetham, and the happenings from the Shamala Peetha Sarvagya Peetham in Madurai. We are seeing that Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Sukkanada is ready along with Devi Parashakti, Annai Meenakshi, Halahala Sundari. They are ready to receive the puja and grace everyone and bless everyone for this Brahmotsavam.
जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः सनः परुषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुन्नुरिताद्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसि तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पोश्च पृथ्वी बहुलान उर्वी भवातोकायतनया यशंयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदस्सिन्धुन्ननावादुरितातिपरुषे अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानोऽस्माकं बोद्धविता तनूनाम् पृतनाजितगुं सहमानमो शुक्रमग्निगं हुवेम परमात्सधस्तात् स नः परुषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्षामद्देवो अतिदुरिताद्यग्निः प्रत्नोषिकमेढ्यो अध्वरेषु सना च होता नव्यश्च सत्सि स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं विप्रयस्वास्मभ्यं च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तं तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नागस्य पृष्ठमभिसंवसानो वैष्णवीं लोक इह मादयन्ताम् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात्
In the auspicious presence of our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, let us now offer our worship to Devi Meenakshi Paramashiva Shakti, Bhagavan Somaskandar Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, and Devi Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti, Devi Mahamari Amman, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and seek their grace and blessings.
शिवानंद पीयूषरत्नाकरस्थां शिव ब्रह्म विश्वामरेशाभिवन्द्यां शिवध्यानलग्नां शिवज्ञानमूर्तिं शिवाख्यामतीतां भजे पाण्ड्यबालाम् धूर्वधूर्वन्तं धूर्वतयोऽस्मान् धूर्वजितं धूर्वयं वयं धूर्वामस्त्वं देवानामसिदस्नितमं वप्रितमं दुष्टतमं वह्नितमं देवहूतममृतमसि हविर्धानं मृगुंहस्वमाह्वा मित्रस्य त्वा चक्षुषा प्रेक्षे संविक्तामात्वाहि गुंसिषम् श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोमसुंदरेश्वर स्वामी समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति श्री मीनाक्षी देव्यै नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि ओम उत्तेप्य स्वजातवेदोपघ्निर्निरतिं मम पशोगश्च मह्यमावहरेवनन्त दिशो दिशा मानो हि गुंसे जातवेदो गामश्वं पुरुषं जगत् अभिप्रदग्नागहि श्रिया मा परिपातया श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोमसुंदरेश्वर स्वामी समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति श्री मीनाक्षी देव्यै नमः दीपं सन्दर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ मधुभातारतायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः माध्वीर्रसन्तोषधीः मधुनक्तमुदोषधि मधुमत्वार्थिवगुं व्रजः मधुद्यौरस्तु नः पिता मधुमानो वनस्पतिर्मधुमागुम् अस्तु सूर्यः माध्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः मधु मधु मधु। ओम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोमसुंदरेश्वर स्वामी समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति श्री मीनाक्षी देव्यै नमः। अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि। ओम सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। सृष्टिस्थितिविनाशानां शक्तिभूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणि नमोस्तुते। शरणागत दीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव सोमसुंदरेश्वर स्वामी समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति मीनाक्षी देव्यै नमः। सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूर नीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः इति स्वस्ति मन्त्रार्था सत्या सफला भवन्तो इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो तथास्तु। अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदः शतम् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो तथास्तु। दुर्जनः सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येत बन्धेभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो तथास्तु।
राजा धर्मपतिः प्रजाः पूजाधना सज्जनाः षट्कर्म प्रवरा द्विजाः प्रतिदिनं विद्या अनवद्या सदा वाणी सन्निहिता चिरं कविमुखैः सानन्दमव्याकुलाः सर्वे सन्तु वैदिकधर्म अनुष्ठातारः सौजन्यसन्तोषिणः इति स्वस्ति मन्त्रार्था सत्या सफला भवन्तो इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो तथास्तु। येषां देवदेवानां महादेवानां
अखिलाण्डकोटि ब्रह्माण्ड नायकानां सकल भुवि सृष्टि स्थिति संहार तिरोभाव अनुग्रहाख्य पंचकृत्य परायणानाम् आदिमध्यान्तरहितानाम् अप्रमेय पराक्रमाणाम् तत्त्वार्थ गोचराणाम् श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव स्वरूपाणाम् श्री आदिगुरु अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर स्वरूपाणाम् श्री काल भैरव महाकाली स्वरूपाणाम् श्री कैलासोन्नत द्वादशान्त श्यामला पीठारूढ़ श्री मीनाक्षी सुंदरेश्वर भिन्न स्वरूप परशिव पुत्र रत्न कुमार सुब्रह्मण्य तुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागम सारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्र श्रीमत् परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान लीयमान छत्र चामर श्री चिन्ह काहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सत्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्याप वर्ग वर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपण शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भाव वीक्षणाधर्धार ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमन् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम् अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधानानाम् अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधानानाम् कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधानानाम् नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठानाम् महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तॄणाम् साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणीनाम् साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वरानाम् साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वरानाम् धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधानानाम् कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरूणां श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारकानां श्री कैलास परमाचार्याणां श्रीमत्परमहंसानां परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्याणां सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूपानां श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठानां श्रीमज्जगद्गुरूणां श्रीलश्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्धिः समेषां सककुटुम्बानां सकलैश्वर्य प्राप्तिः गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्धिः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपस्य भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवस्य पादारविन्दयोः अचञ्चल भक्ति सिद्धिः भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्रातिष्ठ भूयात् इति भवन्तो महान्तोऽनुगृह्णन्तो तथास्तु सर्वे जना सुखिनः सन्तो तथास्तु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु तथास्तु समस्त सन्मङ्गलानि सन्तु तथास्तु सर्वत्र नित्यानन्द ध्वजारोहणं भवतु तथास्तु सर्वेषां श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां परिपूर्ण कृपा कटाक्ष सिद्धि अस्तु तथास्तु अयं धर्मः उत्तरोत्तरम् अभिवृद्धिरस्तु तथास्तु सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ओम नित्यानंदम्
will be witnessing the Deeparadhana being offered to Swayambhu Nithyanandeshwara present in the Garbhamandir of Arulmigu Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwara Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam.
तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिव प्रचोदयात् ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिव प्रचोदयात् ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिव प्रचोदयात्
श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः। सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। सर्वोपचारार्थे सर्वमंगलवाप्यर्थे सर्वापराधक्षमापणार्थे कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि अक्षान्धारयामि।
शूर्णाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तम्भस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मूलप्रकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकृत्पूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सर्वाभयविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् योगपट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सार्वभौमैकपत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलम् ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलम् कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम् परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम् त्वं स्मृतमहं धन्य मम प्राणमहेश्वर गंगाधर नामेति स्तोत्रस्थानं ददाम्यहम्.
Thank you for joining us for today's auspicious Dhwajarohanam ceremony on the first day celebrations of Chitrai Peruvila Brahmotsavam. The Meenakshi Brahmotsavam celebrations will continue tomorrow. We invite you again tomorrow for the second day celebrations of Chitrai Peruvila Brahmotsavam. Thank you. Nithyanandam.
Sadashiva
Nithyanandeshwara Sadashiva Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Adishakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, participants, visitors, viewers, sitting with us all over the world for this program, Experience Kailasa. First of all, I want to tell you, I recommend you take notes. And I also allow anybody to video record, audio record. So all this should make you understand how important this session is going to be. And I also sincerely recommend you watch this like a spiritual practice for next 21 days. I'm going to introduce Sadashiva. Everything possible which can be introduced, dimension or cosmology, understanding, I'll introduce in every possible way. I'm introducing cosmology directly from horse's mouth. Understand? Maybe if we want to use this horse's mouth phrase in a very Indian Shaivite way, bull's mouth, we can change it. Nandi's mouth. Directly. First thing I want to tell you, people feeling, oh, these big concepts, ideas, cosmology, all these are not for me. This idea is not cute. Please understand. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is very clear. Not able to understand is a lie. Not interested in understanding is the truth. Listen. The word not able to understand is a lie. Not interested in understanding is the truth. So do not cherish with the cuteness. Oh, all these big concepts I don't understand. I don't care. I don't want all these big concepts. You just tell me what should I do. I am telling what you should do. Understand. Now people try to celebrate, feel cute about their decision not to put their listening and integrity together to understand life. Please understand. If you are in this cosmos, you need to understand this cosmos, and you are equipped enough by Sadashiva to understand this cosmos. So all these sentiments, oh, these big words, big ideas, big concepts, I cannot grasp, I am a simple devotee. No, don't. Being a simple devotee is not alternative to understanding. You will be a simple devotee only if you understand the cosmos, not otherwise. Ignorance is not celebrated in Hindu tradition. Ignorance cannot be the quality of a devotee. Many times I hear this argument, oh Swamiji, I am a simple devotee, you just tell me what should I do. I cannot understand these big words, cosmology, cosmos. No. If you are a simple devotee, sit with integrity and your simplicity, you will understand exactly what I am talking, and you will experience it now. I am introducing Mahasadashiva as he himself introduces himself in Vidyapada of Agamas, and I have some of the interesting articles by modern day researchers. In the modern day, some people are trying to research from the angle of neuroscience and brain, possibilities of brain and the universe. I have a bunch of set of articles. I will highly recommend all of you read all these articles today after this session. So please read these articles which I am recommending. You will understand many things in the language you cognize. I am not saying these researchers have grasped everything of what Sadashiva talks about cosmology in the Agamas, what Sadashiva introduces. I don't want to say these researchers have got everything, but I can comfortably say that they are moving in that direction. For example, whatever, let me first give you the reference of those articles. It is like a Science Daily, Science News, Multi-Dimensional Universe in Brain Networks. That's article name, and I have few more, maybe around 20 articles.
This is the second article. The human brain can create structures up to 11 dimensions. And then I'm again projecting a sequence of article titles. The next is multi-dimensional universe in brain networks. You can actually take a screenshot of the screen here. The next is new mathematical method reveals structure and neural activity in the brain. Mathematicians help unlock brain function. Multi-scale computational model sheds light on embryonic development. Cold Spring Harbor dream to use $2.7 million NIH grant to map long-range neural projections. Researchers propose sequencing-based approach to map all neuron connections in the brain.
Now I want to tell you, first I wanted to express my appreciation for these researchers putting their knowledge and intelligence, time, energy and integrity in this line. And I will really recommend to them to spend little time on Vidyapada of Agama, where the cosmos introduces cosmology. Sadashiva talks about cosmology. It will really be wonderful that they will be helped in their research. They will know which direction they should look, towards which direction they should look. Okay, now all this research is all about your brain. Understand, this is like a mirror. This is the mirror in which the cosmos reflects, and this is the organ. I can't even use the word organ, it is little more than organ. This is the system through which you are perceiving the cosmos, universe, existence. These researchers have done research on what all is being perceived here, means in the reflection. Based on that, they are projecting, assuming, trying to understand what must be there. All of you are understanding? This, what is being perceived, reflected in this, is presumed as photograph or reflection of what is out there. So by studying this, what is going on in this, with a very evolved mathematics called algebraic topology. I don't know whether I pronounce the word properly, algebraic topology, whatever. So with that, they are trying to study, project, understand what is going on in this. With that, they are trying to understand what must be out there. Now, the good news I have for the researchers is you are heading in right direction because we have a description of what is out there already by the person who is out there. We have description, a very elaborate and very detailed, Bhur, Bhuva, Suva, Tapa, Satya, all the lokas and dimensions. We have description by the person who is out there about what is there. Your algebraic topology, which they are trying to use, which acts like a telescope and microscope together. Understand? Algebraic topology is like a telescope, can project into the space to study the Big Bang and black holes, and it can be microscope, can be zoomed into inside a forest, a python hiding in the hole of a tree, and the blood group of that python, whether that python has some bacterial infection. It is like it can zoom into the networks. Understand, this algebraic topology is a very sophisticated maths they use, which behaves like telescope and microscope together. And with this, they are studying what is happening here. What is happening here? Roughly, I will equate this as a pindanda. And what is happening there is Brahmanda. By studying the pindanda with algebraic topology, scientists, researchers are trying to understand multi-dimensions of the universe. Listen. Sorry if I am presenting too complicated things. I'll try to map it down to your language and the way you can grasp. Fundamentally, the researchers are trying to convey the various dimensions. 1D means rod, 2D means plank, 3D means cube, and the fourth D is the spatial dimension called time. The scientists are trying to explain, researchers are trying to explain through this algebraic topology, which works like a telescope and microscope together. It is not just this 4-dimension alone our brain is perceiving. Our brain is able to perceive higher dimensions, multiple dimensions. Because of that, they come to a conclusion, multiple dimensions exist because the reflection shows. the multiple dimension perceptions, not only the possibility, but as a reality. They are saying that many of these algebraic topology data they have discovered, they try to map it and see its effect on the rat's brain, and the researchers are confirming many of this data is very realistic. Understand? This is where I wanted to suggest to them. One, please study Vidya Pada of Agamas. You will have lot of input, support and direction. That is one. Second, if you are really interested only in research, if you are not interested in any vested interests, come. You don't need to waste your time on putting your algebraic topology projections, mathematics on the rat's brain and study. I'll give you live brain. You can study mine. I'll reflect this whole 11 dimension, what is out there in here purely. Study all the 86 billion neurons and its activities simultaneously. I am not interested in any of the pride, all these, that. I am saying, let's do something good to the world. Not only me, I can recommend and request many of my disciples also to support you in your research. We can live reflect. Understand? Scientists are equipped with a algebraical topology which functions like a telescope and microscope together for microcosm, brain, pindanda. We are equipped with third eye penetrated by oneness, third eye opened by oneness, can be used same way algebraic topology is used in microcosm. We can use the third eye penetrated by the oneness in macrocosm. Understand? Scientists with their algebraic topology, which can function like a telescope and microscope together, study the multi-dimensional happening in the brain. We Shaivites, empowered by Sadashiva, whose third eyes are penetrated by the oneness, can show precisely what is out there in here. all of you are able to understand, in the macrocosm, brain, algebraic topology helps, like a telescope and microscope, to study what is going on in this. With that only they are coming to many understandings. I am telling them, please come here. We have cosmic algebraic topology, third eye penetrated by oneness, which can function a cosmic telescope and microscope together. I can project and tell you precisely what is happening in the sun now. The precise temperature change or precise happenings of the sun, and precisely what is happening in your eardrum when you hear these words from my mouth. Understand? Microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is third eye penetrated by oneness. As long as third eye is not penetrated by oneness, it is not opened, it is not yet initiated. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. I can provide true help to these scientists by giving the documentation about what is out there by the person who owns everything out there. It's an owner's document. Who created and who is sustaining his own internal document. That is one. Second, I can provide direction and evidence of whatever is out there by making the pure reflection of that in here. Live human brain. You don't need a rat and rat's brain. We have now enough of powers, empowered human beings who can just through their brain show you precisely what's going on now in Kailasa, what's going on now in Tapoloka, what's going on now in Bur, Bhuva and Suva, in all the different lokas. Understand, you do not need to use the rat's brain to map the data you collect through algebraic topology and verify them with the reality. We can provide. Not only I am open and many of my disciples whose third eye is penetrated by the oneness. I have not even entered into what I am supposed to share today. I am only introducing the fundamental understandings. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is rich man's religion. Means who is really rich in everything. It is not created to control the mass with certain ideas and concepts and like a mental prison. No. This Dharma teaches you mind is a prison. So it never was generated. So whatever I shared now, I'll give you the essence in few lines. What is out there reflects here. Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. And the methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. So I am giving them my support in 2 ways. You are only working on what is reflecting here. Unfortunately, a normal brain's reflection is not complete. That's first. Second, we actually have a documentation of what is out there by the owner who is out there. And it is available in here. We can provide you the documentation. Next to the documentation, we can provide you a live laboratory where you can see the reflection, a pure reflection of what is out there in here, to take your researches further. So you can try to understand what is in here and what is out there. Pindanda and Brahmanda. Like your algebraic topology, which can function as a telescope and microscope together for Pindanda, reflection, our oneness filled third eye can be used as a telescope and microscope together for the Brahmanda, cosmos. You have a live telescope, microscope together for cosmos. So, the live telescope, microscope together for cosmos is inviting you all to support you all in further researches you want to do on this 11 dimensions aspect. So with this, let me start the program. I started the program saying I am going to introduce Sadashiva. I only prepared you to introduce Sadashiva. I need to convince you why such complex understandings about cosmos and life need to happen. Understand? If you have complex understandings, you will not have complex problems. If you don't have and if you are avoiding complex understandings, you will have complex problems. Decide whether to put your energy towards the understanding and problem-free life, or avoid putting energy towards understanding and live with problems. In any field, if you want to be successful, you need to put little your time and energy to understand the logic of that field. Even to operate a cell phone, you need to pick up the cell phone, understand where is the number, how to press and all that, and where to keep. You can't keep it somewhere and talk, you have to keep it in your ears and near the mouth. Now you need to understand the logic. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, you need to decide, you should understand Kailasa. You can't say, oh, I am an innocent devotee and I am a simple person. Just no. Your ignorance is neither cute nor welcome. And you are not created for ignorance. Be very clear. Be very clear. All you need is your decision to complete with the pattern of celebrating your ignorance as cute, as if something right, as if it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Seeker is a person who is trying to understand cosmos. So you have to understand cosmos. You can't say, I want to go to Kailash, I want to experience Kailash, I want to understand the whole cosmos, I want to manifest all the powers, but I am very innocent, little ignorant, very innocent, old devotee. That's not cute. That's not cute. Complete with the pattern of celebrating ignorance, because I am going to introduce some of the very important truths of life. We need to understand cosmos because we are working and living, functioning in the cosmos. Making it as simple as possible and mapping it in such a way your inner space grasps it, experiences it, is my job. That is my job. I will do it. But not even interested in entering, holding my hand to come along with me is not right. So hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listening and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now. You need to understand Kailash Pati, Lord of Kailash, Sadashiva. Only then you can experience Kailasa. It is actually a beautiful painting here. I am showing, projecting a painting of Sadashiva. It's a traditional painting done as per the introduction of Sadashiva. About his cosmic form, in a way we can understand. Originally he says thousands of heads and thousands of hands, means literally all the identities exist, is part of him. All the heads exist is part of him, whether it works or not. You may ask, even mine? Yes, yours, even yours. That's the good news. Even yours is. Here it is presented with a 25 head in a very symbolic way. Can you project that? Understand, in the first means the lowest row, which is connected to the neck. 9 heads are there. In the next row, 7 heads are there. In the further row, 5 heads are there, and further 3 heads are there, then further 1 head. It's a symbolic representation. And I wanted to tell you all, I am giving you only very minimal understanding which is required for you to experience Kailasa. It's like if you go to Universal Studio or Disney World, Disneyland, how they give you a very minimal introduction to let you experience and enjoy all the rides and shows and the place. Same way, I am only giving you a very minimal introduction. I am not torturing you with too much information. No. I am trying to make everything user friendly as much as possible. As much user friendly as possible. The row of the heads connected to his neck. Nine faces is mathematics of the universe. Listen. Mathematics of the logic and mathematics of the universe is different. Mathematics of the logic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number. 1 plus 1 is 2. When you do this addition, subtraction, it is all whether the work or the result is only in your logic. For example, like a paper. If you put 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, that is only in the paper. But the cosmic mathematics is the actual dimensions. Like when I say the first phase, it is not equivalent to mathematical 1. It is a cosmic 1, means the first dimension of the universe, length. Two is not mathematical 2 which exists in logic. It is second dimension, Planck. First dimension can be called as a rod, just one dimension. Then Planck, second dimension, means length and breadth together. Three is third dimension, the length, breadth, depth together. Listen. I think many of you are seeing new me. Who is after the length, breadth, depth, the four, in the fourth phase only sound even starts. Understand? The science says any particle's movement creates sound. Sadashiva says very clearly, if the particle moves only in the length, breadth, depth, sound is generated. If it moves only from length to length, no sound is generated. Listen. You may say, oh, my hand, if I move like this, sound is generated. Very subtle. It is generated because your hand has a depth. This or this does not generate sound. Yeah. Atom, molecule moving this way or just this way does not generate sound. If it moves only this way or that way or this way, where the depth is involved, sound is generated. So only after the third dimension, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva introduces nada, sound. This information is very important for you because the mathematical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is not cosmical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In mathematical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after 3 suddenly you cannot introduce something extra. 1, 2, 3, it has to be 4. Cannot be 4.5. That is mathematical, numerical. But in cosmical, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. I don't even want to say 3.5, 3, something more than 3 and 4. I don't even want to say it is between 3 and 4, no. Because after the 4, that what came in between is getting added as a load on the 4. That is why, understand, in the 7, 9 phase, only after the 3rd phase the upper phases are sitting, means now no more the phases are linear, they are multidimensional. Listen, 9 phase. First phase length, second phase breadth, third phase depth. Now in the depth, sound comes as a new introduction. So after the sound is introduced, it is no more 3rd to 4th, 3rd with one more head on the top and 4th, and the 4th has 2 more heads on the top and 5th, 5th has 3 more heads on the top and 6th. How many of you are catching it? Understand? Till the depth no sound. After the depth, when the sound is introduced, 4 is not just like how from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. No. 1 to 2 is 1 to 2. 2 to 3 is 2 to 3. But 3 to 4 is not 3 to 4. 3 plus something and 4. Listen. In the depth starts happening sound. How many of you are grasping what I am saying? You see, you need to understand this, because when you explore you will manifest so much. I tell you, all values come when you know you are a valuable person. That is why it is value. In Tamil, நாணயம் தன் நாணயம் தெரிந்தால்தான் வரும். If you know your value, your worth, only then you will manifest values in life. You will not give up your integrity for 2 pennies lying on the ground. No. You know your integrity is much more valuable than that penny lying on the ground. So you need to understand. Listen. Now, length, the first head, second head, breadth, third head, depth, fourth head, time, but it is not just like how we moved from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it is not same 3 to 4, because in the 3, suddenly one thing is added, one head on the top, that is nada, sound. And sound cannot come just in y-axis travel or x-axis travel. All sound is generated only in z-axis travel. Any particle, pure movement of x-axis and y-axis. I don't know whether I showed properly. I think this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Listen, pure movement of x-axis and y-axis of a particle does not generate sound. It is z-axis, z-axis that travel generates sound. So, when it comes from length to breadth to depth, it is not directly from depth to time you can jump. Now you need to consider one more dimension of life, nada, sound as introduced, sound has come into existence. So the time is going to be handled. Time is going to be the totality of not just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 plus the sound. Totality of this 4 is the 4, time, fourth head. Now, fifth head. Listen, fifth head is connected to the body. The neck is the integrity, poison is the non-integrity. It is integrity connects the Sadashiva with the whole universe, universe with Sadashiva. Anybody with integrity can penetrate Alahala and connect with Sadashiva and all his dimensions and live. When you miss integrity, you cannot penetrate the Alahala. Listen, first head, length. That's a face. I am purposely explaining with just as per the Agama's introduction, because I don't want this knowledge to be stolen by the people and mapping it back to their understanding and saying Agama has been written much later than the science discovery. Nowadays, in the modern day, that one big crime is going on, steal everything Vedic, and then say that Vedas were written very recently after all the modern day discoveries. Some Pandit who did not have a job, he read all the English books and he translated everything in Sanskrit and made a book. No, that's what they are trying to claim. The Vaimanika Shastra was written very recently by somebody mapping all the Western concepts of aeronautics into Sanskrit. Okay. So that is the reason I am presenting it with the original visual map as it is. See, the first phase, length. Second phase, breadth. Till then, those heads are just independent. Nothing much above on them. You see, here they have put it like a tower, but actually when Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva introduces himself, he says after the third head, starts on the third head starts the next dimension. Means 7, when it is put on 9, only on the third, the next starts. Am I right? All of you understanding? All of you are catching it? So the third is the depth. In the depth is what? Nada. The sound starts. That is above head. The head which is above the third head. I don't want to say fourth head, because the fourth head is next head only is going to have the title fourth head. All of you are catching what I am saying? Above the third head, which is the side effect of 1, 2, 3, is sitting, which is sound, nada. Above the fourth head, two heads are sitting. Listen. Above the fourth head, which is Kala, sound, listen very carefully. Sound and Nada and Bindu. Bindu means longevity, life. Only when the time is introduced, longevity concept gets introduced. Till the time is introduced, there is no life, longevity. How many of you are grasping? So the head sitting on the fourth, one is time, nada, bindu, above, which is this. See, the fourth, nada, bindu. That is life. Only the time dimension the depth dimension introduces sound in the cosmos. Time dimension introduces sound and life, longevity. Kala is Kala Kala. Kala is life and death. Am I able to make you all understand? The fifth head, listen. The fifth head is what is connected to the body. Body is the universe. All these heads are units, identity. Understand? Your identity is the unit of your consciousness. If your consciousness, listen, all the identities with which you play as a father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, victim, aggressive, all your identities put together is your consciousness. How many of you understand that? That is your world. Here, each head is the unit. Each head is the identity. All these identities put together is universe, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva. Like all your identities put together is your consciousness. Identity is used as a unit to measure your consciousness. If you are entertaining more unit of father identity, that will be the lifestyle of your consciousness. If you are entertaining the beloved identity more units, that will be major aspect of your life. So measurement of your life, who you are, the Jivatma, Pratyagatma Chaitanya is done by the units of your identity. For example, if I have to write a formula about you, 7 unit father, 8 unit mother, 3 unit being a son, 4 unit being a brother, and 1 unit of being a charitable person, 2 unit of being a beggar, and 7 unit of victim, and 8 unit of courageous person. Identities you use is the unit with which formula about you can be written. How many of you are grasping this statement? Now, the identities of Sadashiva is the unit of the cosmos. See here, first phase is length, second phase is breadth, third phase is depth. But the depth does not just keep quiet as depth. If it is mathematical 1, 2, 3, it should be just 1, 2, 3. But it is not mathematical, it is existential. One man plus one woman mathematically is 2 persons, but existentially there will be third child. If you allow both of them to be there, there will be a child. So existential mathematics is different from your logical mathematics. When the third dimension of the depth happens, I don't want to say fourth dimension, the next thing of a sound happens existentially. And next phase, when the next phase is added, this is time. When the time is brought into the scene, Nada and Bindu both are added. That is Nada and Bindu. Yes. You may say, why Nada should be added to depth and time? When the Bindu is added, Nada is no more an ordinary Nada. Sound which is not created never dies. Sound which is created dies. Sound which happens only with the association of length, breadth, depth can die, but the sound which happens with the association of length, breadth, depth, time and space does not die. So the sound associated just length, breadth, depth is different, and the sound associated to length, breadth, depth, time and space is different. Just the sound generated by length, breadth, depth, like I am moving this sound is different than the length, breadth, depth, time, all four create certain sound that is different. I'll give you the example. The sound generated by the two objects hitting, it is between length, breadth, depth and time. But the sound generated by my inner space, where length, breadth, depth, time and space is also involved, this can create the same space I am in you. But this sound cannot create the same space it is in you. How many of you are grasping? So the head which is sitting on the depth can only be called as Shabda. Head which is sitting on the time between the Bindu is called Nada. Shabda cannot create effect, it can only exist. It can survive, not reproduce. Impotent man. He can exist, he cannot create. But Nada can exist and create because Bindu is added, life is added into it. A sound potent of producing something in you is Nada. Sound impotent of making any impact on the universe is Shabda. Then comes combination of length, breadth, depth, time, space as the fifth head. Above that sits Nada, Bindu, Amaratva, immortality. Above sits Nada, Bindu and immortality, Amritatva. Tattva means unit. Amritatva. In this dimension only, the gods and goddesses who don't get into non-existence live. So from here, there can never be a non-existence. There can only be the transformation, but no non-existence. We may think, why do we need to know all this? If you know these basic understandings, you can map them in your life in multiple level, and it can strengthen your balance sheet. Understand? It can make you healthy, wealthy, happy, blissful, because many of these understandings awakens those dimensions of your brain. Already, if you are feeling too much is happening in your brain, raise your hand. Good. Those electrical signals, understand? When the owner is introducing his home and you are sitting in front of him, his neurons, brain neuron activity mirrors in your brain. Bindu is life, Amritatva is life which cannot be dulled, reduced, diluted by length, breadth, depth, time. Kala. Amritatva is the space on which time does not have a say. A cloth, even if you lock it inside a vacuum box for 10 years and then take it out again, you will see it has already withered. No weather would have operated on it, but time operates on it. If you do not allow the time to operate on you, you don't die. If you don't remember you are aging, you will not be aging. That's the truth. A remembrance of aging ages you. The number of time you remember you are aging makes the aging effects on your system. Sadashiva gives an instruction in Agama. Remember, Sadashiva is ever 16, and remember you are he. In those days, that 16 is something like a peak health and peak possibility. Even if you are brought up in a Gurukul way of life, by 16 you will manifest all the powers. So that is the reason that 16. Now, length, breadth, depth, time, space, all these are called dimensions of universe. The Shabda, which is byproduct of depth, Nada and Bindu, which is byproduct of time, Nada Bindu Amritatva, it's called Amrita Kala. These things, these heads above, they are called multi-dimensions of the universe. Understand? You cannot call Shabda as the fourth dimension of universe. No. Third multi-dimension of the universe is Shabda. Fourth multi-dimension of the universe is Nada Bindu. Fifth multi-dimension of the universe is Nada Bindu Amritakala. How many of you are understanding the statement? First dimension is first dimension. Second dimension is second dimension. Third dimension is not third dimension. Third multi-dimension. Because with the third, the new dimension of Shabda is introduced. Which cannot be called as dimension, because we are using the word dimension for fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Third multi-dimension is, see, for example, the third multi-dimension depth has length, breadth, time and depth all together. Sorry, not time. Length, breadth, Shabda and depth together is third multi-dimension. You should know why our masters describe gods with multiple heads. Fools are those who criticize the forms of our Hindu gods, who do not know the universe. They say, why so many heads, so many hands? You don't know. You know only handicapped persons. You do not know multi-handed persons. You know only headless chickens. You do not know multi-headed beings. Third multi-dimension holds length, breadth, depth and Shabda. The fourth multi-dimension holds length, breadth, depth, time, nada and bindu. I do not want to use the same word shabda for nada, because nada with quality of life is no more shabda. For example, shabda can be called as a raw, precious metal you have. Nada is like you sold that metal and have a currency, cash in your hand, which is more active and useful and available for you. Shabda is raw, nada is refined. And when it comes to the next space multidimension, there that nada also I don't want to call as nada kala. It is no more just nada, it's nada kala. It is not only the cash you have, it is become an object or a product what you want to have directly. It's like a 3D printer. Out of nada kala, you can just directly do 3D printing of anything you want. Above the nada kala is bindu kala. Above the bindu kala is amrita kala. The qualities, units, understandings about this multi-dimensional universe as two important use. One, please understand, all of you are now going to meditate. What meditate? Going to remember your original Svabhava Swarupa of Sadashiva. I am not just introducing me, I am introducing you to you. I do not talk to anybody who is less in my stature. Understand? This science is called Rajavidya, means a king does not talk to somebody who is less than his stature. This Vidya cannot be taught to somebody who is less than my stature. If I am teaching you, understand, you are same of me. The moment you decide to learn, you are same of me. I have a Shastra Pramana where Mahadeva Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva says, eternal age of 16 years. That's a beautiful word he is telling. He is not saying the 16 which comes after 15 or before 17. He says eternal age of 16. If he says meditate me as 16, you may think before 17 and after 15, that's 16. No. Just pick up the 16 and freeze it into eternity. That is why he is using the word eternal age of 16 years. The quality of the 16 should be absorbed and frozen into eternity. Let me read out the original verse for all of you. Panchasyam dasadortandam spatigabam trilochanam shantam chandrakala chutam sarpasannada satchatam mantrasimhasanasinam శ్వేతపద్మో పరిస్థితం కుండలైః కర్ణైః కటిస్తుత్రో దరబంతనైః కేయూరైః కటైకైశ్చైవ చన్న సంయుతం షోడశాయుతం కంఠం సుప్రసన్నం స్మితాననం శూలం పరసు కట్కంచ వజ్రం వగ్నిం చ దక్షిణే అభయం పాసమాన్యంచ కంఠం నాగన్కుశౌ తథా వామహస్త కటం ధ్యాయేత్ అన్యతా చ నిగత్యతే ప్రసల్పాయ కట్వాంక శక్తి స్థూలస్తు సవ్యత వామే డమరు సర్పాక్ష మాలేందివర పురకైః. Eternal 16 means the 16 which comes before 15, before 17, after 15 has its innate quality of becoming 17. He does not want the 16 which will become 17. He says the 16 should be picked up and made it into eternal. All right, let me come back now to understand. Length is the dimension of universe. Breadth is the dimension of the universe. Depth is multi-dimension of the universe, not dimension of the universe. How many of you are grasping? Length is the dimension of universe. Breadth is the dimension of universe. Depth is multi-dimension of the universe. Time is the multi-dimension of the universe. Space is multi-dimension of the universe. I have just introduced this understanding called multi-dimension. And what is multi-dimension? The essence of this almost 2-hour session is multi-dimension. The purpose of introducing this is two. One, if you understand, great. You can sit as this understanding Sadashiva. If you don't understand, your confusion is one of the dimension. Sit with that. Whatever I understood is one, half understood is one head, and completely not understood is another head. Let me sit with all these heads. All non-understood is avyakta, unmanifest to you, and if you decide to make that as part of you and feel that as part of you, it will start revealing itself to you. Anything which you decide as make it as part of you, even if it is good or bad to you, understood or ununderstood, it will reveal its secrets to you. If you keep something as evil or ignorant as outside, you will be God. If you decide to keep that also as part of you, you will become Godal Sadashiva. If you decide to keep something as ignorant away from you, you are a Deva. If you decide to have that also as part of you, even though it does not reveal its secrets to you or friendly with you, you are Mahadeva. That is why Only Mahadeva is worshipped by Devas and Asuras both. Good and evil both worships Mahadeva. He gives boon to Indra and Ravana both. You are going to meditate, contemplate, internalize, do dhyana on all these great truths. That is why I am introducing all this to you. These understandings are only called as Somarasa in tradition, Hindu tradition. So when they enter into your system, you experience Kailasa. You feel real high. With alcohol, you feel high, but you fall down. With Somarasa, you feel high and you fly high. With alcohol, everything will look very tall and big because you are on the ground. With Somarasa, everything will look small and down because you are on the high. Small break, then we will continue. Let's gather for next session to internalize Mahasadashiva more. Be blissful. Let's gather for next session. Thank you. Be blissful.